I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 1941. I was 2 years old. This is artist George O'Keeffe, American. My father, Edward VIII, was married to George's sister. George is my aunt. My mom's name is Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe Windsor. They were legally wed. My father never, Edward VIII, never married Wallace Simpson. They used a double and took down my father. Doubles were used back then. That was what was used to take down my father. And my own uncle, I've put all this up on YouTube, many of them, over the last 2.5 years. The law doesn't work for me. A friend gave me the video so I could upload to social media or the phone, and it's on Instagram and Facebook. Now, excuse me, I've had a lot done to me for telling the truth, simply telling about me being born and kidnapped and brought to this country. I found out in '83, and the laws broken and the torture by good old boys and girls in this country are appalling if they're ever told. So it makes you wonder, ISIS or the Americans, you know? It's all in how you do it, I guess, but the results is the same, and what they've done to me are doing. But I wanted to say this morning. I started writing before I found out about being kidnapped. Started writing about mind control murders, and Wayne Williams and the black children in Atlanta were being killed. But I knew about the murders before then. For a long time, up until '76, I didn't know the mechanism used. And I'm going to say this here. After I did the book and had a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd of '79, U.S. Attorney Harper, ongoing investigation, national security involved. This is when Wayne Williams was supposed to be killing the black children. This had nothing to do with the fact that they were, if you want to say African Americans, you have to be politically correct, except no one has been with me, thank you. It's been the opposite. But it had nothing to do with the race itself. The color black was used, and it was in patterns, and the Wayne and the Williams and the carpet involved. In fact, it was sent, I believe, over to Alabama. That's where they'd put me by that time, trying to kill me. And that's Dr. Larry McDonald, which is mentioned here, whose plane later went down, and I was flown out to Mr. Flint's. Now then, I wanted to say that Maynard Jackson was the mayor. Andy Young, who was with Martin Luther King, was ambassador to Africa, South Africa. And herein you get presidents or whoever appoints persons to the UN. The UN is another word for the Illuminati. That's who controls them. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bilderbergers, the Kennedys, the Roosevelts, or if there's many of those alive, etc. So you can follow me. Most of the presidents were members of the New World Order, Illuminati, Freemasons. It's all the same people. But they, after they kidnapped me and it took down my father, the United States went in under the guise of being friends of the UK, of the British, and they actually took us down, is what they did, and installed their own monarch, Elizabeth, and her father, who really works in their best interest, and their illegal, so are the treaties. So anyway, enough, I guess. I wanted to get back to Jimmy Carter, as far as I know, was not part of the New World Order, but he did send Andrew Young to Africa. And the part of it is there's diamonds, it's also taken away from the UK and French and other countries that had holdings there in Africa and South Africa. So now everything really has become under the auspices of the New World Order, and they use the United Nations to control. Anyway, back to Andy Young was the Reverend, and he was mayor at the time when they put antifreeze in me and almost killed me. And I went to his office, and no one would speak to me. Went to Mrs. King's. I was on the street, by the way, and the things done to me are so sick, with everybody knowing it, the media, everybody. And finally, she sent. When I didn't leave, I was afraid they'd have me arrested because I have no rights. A man came out and said, and he took me outside, by the way, in the cold to talk to me. He said Mrs. King was busy. He was next to her. He told me, and I didn't know the meaning to South Africa and my name. I had not found out about my kidnapping, although I've been told that I always knew subconsciously. But he told me that said me enough information. He said, I know what mind control is. He said, he mentioned South Africa and a friend of theirs who was a doctor who went to the dentist, and when he came back, he went flying into the wall because the synchronicity is so together and powerful. It can make you do just exactly what he said, go plowing into a wall and kill yourself. So anyway, he said enough, and later I put the South Africa together with when I found out who I am and everything. It was British, and now the United States has destroyed everything under the guise of independence when really they've turned it over, and the United States is the Illuminati with the Jews and Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bilderbergers, and I'm sorry to say part of my family. Now I have veered off course to this. I'd done the book about Larry Flint being shot. The person that shot him in Lawrenceville was programmed. And Wayne Williams, those were mind control murders. And so are the ones. The odd thing is that the media is publishing this. They're just not telling that they're programmed. In fact, it's being put forth to people that it needs gun control. You need control over mind control. You're addressing the wrong issue. And if all these politicians don't know it, and the president sitting up there who's with his attorney general yesterday, and they're going to put a clamp on, make more gun background checks, and mentally ill, if you have mental illness or any mental problem, this thorough background check, you can't get guns. Mental illness has nothing to do with this. It's a scapegoat for mind control. Mind control can be made to mimic, and the persons under mind control are total victims. They don't even know they're getting it. I'm going to go again with James Holmes and the fact that doctors, psychiatrists have sit back and allowed it to happen. He was programmed. They fed him toxic drugs, which is illegal, to misdiagnose someone and torture them like that. The Tucson, Arizona, you can go back and see the ones that have brought in more security, and it goes back to really probably a long time before, but with the Hinckley, when he shot Reagan, and he was programmed. My God, they just had dinner with the Bushes the night before, and I could go on and on, but you can go back, and that's just a little bit of the mind control murders. But anyway, I'd written about that, and I find out who I am, and about the kidnapping. And you know, this country, the United States, stirred up the pot over in the Middle East. They took down the leaders over there. They took down my father, who was a king, and King Ferdinand and Tsar Nicholas. Who do you think was responsible for it? The United States is. They were taking down leaders. It was just a different way. So now then, they've stirred the pot up, and they wanted to take down Assad. And look at all the hell that's going on. And now all these refugees or immigrants are flooding into Europe, and especially the UK and Germany and France, and it's hideous. You don't have to drop a bomb like they did on Japan. You don't have to go in and the United States created ISIS. All right, they made Great Britain fight this war against themselves. Great Britain's hostage, just as I am. So I hope what's being done to me I put up videos trying to get